Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for stopping by. Today I'm going to share with you this amazing Mother's Day lunch or dinner idea. Okay guys, so today we'll be preparing a combination macaroni and potato salad. So to a pot of boiling water, I added some salt, then I went in with some elbows macaroni as well as some potatoes and 2 eggs. Now everything here takes roughly about the same amount of time to cook. So I'm boiling them together. It takes about 12 minutes or so. After that, you will drain it and allow the potatoes to cool. Next, we'll go ahead and prepare our dressing. So here I'm adding some mayonnaise, some ranch dressing, as well as a little bit of mustard. I went in with some sugar and some seasoning. All of the seasonings will be listed in my description box. Give that a good mix and set aside. Once your macaroni and potatoes are cooled down a bit, you will now go ahead and add some bell peppers, onions, and some scallions, as well as the eggs. You chop them up super fine and add them in there. I also added some mixed vegetables, and now I will add my dressing. Give everything a real good toss, and that's basically it. Quick, easy, and simple. And when I tell you, this was so delicious. If you have a taste for both a potato salad and a macaroni salad, this combination is the best thing to do. Like, it is so delicious and amazing. I can't wait for y'all to try it. Once you give everything a good mix, you want to cover this and place it in the fridge until we're ready to plate later. Now let's make some vegetable rice. Here I have some long grain white rice as well as some mixed vegetables. I'll be using some coconut milk. I have some garlic, bell peppers, onions, and for my seasoning, I'll be using some fresh green seasoning, salt, chicken bouillon, complete seasoning, black pepper, and a little bit of annato. Now to my pot, I will add some oil, allow that to heat up. Once it heats up, I will add my aromatics, give it a good mix, and allow to go for about 2 to 3 minutes or so. Now you want to add your seasoning and give that a good toss, and then we will come in with our washed rice. Make sure you wash the rice thoroughly before adding it in here. It makes a huge difference in the end result. Now once you add your rice, you want to give that a toss and allow it to toast a bit. Let it toast for about 3 to 4 minutes before adding any liquids. At this point, you want to now add your coconut milk, and we'll add some water here. All the correct measurements and the ingredients will be listed down below in my description box. Now you want to give this a toss. We will also add our mixed vegetable here. Give it a good mix, and then we will allow it to come up to a simmer. Before we cover, reduce the heat to low and allow this to cook until all that liquid evaporates. And you should have the perfectly cooked rice. After about 20-25 minutes, your rice should be perfectly cooked, like I said, but you want to cover it, remove it from the heat, and allow it to sit for about 15 minutes before you toss it. After about 15 minutes, we will now go in and just give the rice a toss. As you can see, it is perfectly cooked and the rice is so fluffy, and this is exactly how you want your rice. Letting it sit before tossing it makes a huge difference. And that's it guys, let's move on to the next dish. So now we'll prepare some stir-fried vegetables. Here to my skillet, I'm adding a bit of oil and some butter, and then we will go in with some aromatics: onions, bell peppers, and garlic. Give it a toss and allow to go for about 2 to 3 minutes. Next, we will add our vegetables, which are carrots, cabbage, broccoli, and some bora, better known as long bean. We will also add our seasoning. Like I said, all of the seasonings and the measurements will be listed down below. Give everything a good toss and allow this to go for about 5 minutes. You don't want to overcook them. You just want them to soften up a bit but still have a crunch and a bite. So after 5 minutes, this should be perfect. All you have to do is turn your heat off and set it aside. And this is how it looks once it is all done. You just give it a last toss, remove from the heat, and set aside. Now let's prepare our entree. We'll be making some fresh green seasoning. So here I have some basil, thyme, scallion, and parsley. I also have onions, ginger, garlic, and some habanero peppers. If you are not a fan of spice, you can remove the peppers. Now what I did was went in, add all my onions and garlic and my herbs and everything to a food processor, and then I added a little bit of salt and some lime juice, and I just blend it to your desired texture. That's basically it. This is the holy grail in the Caribbean for marinating meats, fish, any kind of stuff. You could also use it in your stews, soups, anything you want to add it to, you use this. It is perfect. So here I have 3 half chickens, which I went ahead and washed in lime juice. It's 3 people I'm cooking for, so I have 3 half chickens. I also have my fresh green seasoning, some yogurt. I have salt, paprika, sazon, complete seasoning, chicken bouillon, black pepper, and some chili powder. I also will be using some sugar. So here what I did was combine all of the ingredients and make like a marinade. And this is what we will be marinating the chickens with. So once the marinade is all set, you want to just go ahead and coat the chicken really well. If you can lift the skin and get up into the legs and the thighs and stuff like that, go ahead and do so. Make sure the chicken is well marinated with the seasoning, and then we will place it into a Ziploc bag and sit it in the fridge overnight. When you seasoning a chicken this good with all these yummy ingredients, you don't want to rush the process. You want to let that thing sit. So allow it to sit overnight, and tomorrow I will show you what to do next. So fast forward to the next day, I did take my chicken out of the fridge about an hour prior so it could come up to room temperature, and I poured the juices and everything into my favorite baking dish. And what you want to do next is go over the top with a sprinkle of paprika. We just want to add, that vibrant color there so it can look appetizing. So once we done that, you want to cover this with foil wrap, and we place it in a 400-degree oven for about 1 hour. Then I'll show you what to do next. After about an hour, you want to place this back into the oven for about 30 to 45 more minutes. This time, we will do it uncovered. After 10 minutes in, you want to get in there and just baste the chicken with those yummy juices. Baste it well, place it back into the oven for another 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you will bring it out again and baste it for a second time. If you're doing 40 minutes, you can baste it 3 times. But you just want to keep basting it to make sure the chicken is moist and it's not, dry. So after about an hour and 40 minutes, this is how my chicken is looking. But what I decided to do is pour the juices out and add some cornstarch and a little sugar, because when I tasted it, it felt like it needed a bit of sweetness. So I added a little sugar and some cornstarch to thicken it up, and we will pour this on the chicken. Guys, when I tell you, this was so mouth-watering. Man, I can't wait for y'all to try this recipe. This can be perfect for Mother's Day. Your mother would definitely enjoy this one, trust me. Once we're done, you want to just cover this and set aside. Let's prepare the next entree. So next up, we'll be doing some baked fish. So here I have a whole red snapper. I removed the head and the tail because they're not my favorite parts. So I have the snapper here washed with lime juice. I'll be using some tomato sauce as well as some fresh green seasoning. I also have some fish seasoning, Old Bay, chicken bouillon, and black pepper. So just like we did the chicken, we're going to combine all of the ingredients here, making a marinade for our fish. If you never marinate your fish with tomato sauce, you need to try it. It is perfect. All that acidity is great on the fish. So once everything is very well combined, we will just pour it on the fish and make sure the fish is well coated. And then we will cover and allow this to sit for about an hour or 2. This was actually sitting for about 2 hours because I marinated it in the morning, and I allow it to sit for a little bit before I started cooking the meal. So while the meal was cooking, this was actually marinating for that period of time. So like I said, cover and let this marinate. Now after we bring it out of the fridge, you want to place it into a baking dish. Don't pour the juices here. Leave the juices in the bowl. Don't pour it because fish give off a lot of moisture, and all that juice is like just too much. So once we add them in, you want to add some fresh onions. If you prefer, if you don't want to add it, you can omit it. Add some onions and some bell peppers just for a pop of color and brightness. Then we'll go over the top with some butter. I added a piece of butter on each piece of fish, and then I placed this uncovered in the oven, a 400-degree oven, for about 30 to 40 minutes. And here you have it. The fish is all done. It looks absolutely amazing. And I just plate everything up on the table and let everyone have a feast. It was so mouth-watering. The whole meal was so delicious. Everything was very well seasoned, and I can't wait for y'all to try this. It is perfect for Mother's Day. If you want to treat your mom, she would definitely enjoy this meal. I hope you guys give the recipe a try. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button for me. I will leave all my ingredients and measurements down in the description box. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate your support. And as always, enjoy